There's going to be a scandal if Caleb Wilson goes to North Carolina. But could Caleb Wilson be close to Kentucky? Will Mark Pope bring this guy to the Wildcats, or will North Carolina steal the new recruit? Let's talk a little about this news, but first subscribe to the channel to receive more news from Kentucky. The college recruiting scenario for Caleb Wilson, one of the most talked about prospects in the 2025 class, intensifies as the calendar approaches 2024. For the Kentucky Wildcats, under the command of Mark Pope, the dispute for the talented power forward's signature is far from defined, but the signs continue to favor BBN. Still, the threat posed by North Carolina, led by Hubert Davis, keeps the climate of uncertainty in Lexington. Wilson, currently ranked as the fifth best player in the nation by the 247 Sports Composite, represents a key piece for any program that wants to compete on the national stage in the coming years. He possesses the physical tools that make him stand out both offensively and defensively. It's no surprise that elite programs like Kentucky and UNC are vying for every detail of this recruitment. Wilson's recent confirmation that his decision will be announced in January provides temporary relief for the Wildcats, allowing Mark Pope and his coaching staff to ramp up their efforts in the final weeks of this race. For many, Kentucky is still the favorite, as noted by Joe Tipton of On3, but the closeness of the race, rated 51% to 49% in Kentucky's favor, makes it clear that any slip-up could be fatal. In Lexington, the confidence in the program is not unfounded. Kentucky has shown consistency in developing top talent and preparing players for the NBA. Caleb Wilson fits perfectly into the program's tradition, combining the Wildcats' history of success with the need to rejuvenate the roster with versatility and offensive power. Adding a player like Wilson would not only bolster the team's core, but it would also solidify Mark Pope's appeal as an elite recruiter in his new era at the helm of the program. The uncertainty, however, is compounded by UNC's presence in the mix. Hubert Davis has worked tirelessly to present Chapel Hill as the ideal home for Wilson. The player's use of the word home in a recent tweet while sharing Tipton's report has sparked speculation about how much that narrative has influenced his decision-making process. UNC, known for its rich tradition and individual talent-driven style of play, has the right arguments to sway even the most Kentucky-leaning recruits. But what makes Caleb Wilson such a coveted piece? His athleticism is undoubtedly a key factor. According to Adam Finkelstein of 247 Sports, Wilson combines impressive mobility with size, defensive versatility, and a natural ability to cover the floor. Additionally, he has shown progress in strengthening his physique, which should make him even more dominant at the college level. His ability to be a solid rebounder and a contributor on both ends of the floor is exactly what Kentucky needs to cement its identity under Pope. As the recruiting process progresses, it's important to highlight the patience and professionalism with which Kentucky has handled the process. The program's track record of securing top-tier talent speaks for itself, but the fierce competition with UNC reinforces the need for attention to detail. Every interaction, every visit, and every conversation can be decisive. When Wilson finally announces his choice in January, the outcome will be a direct reflection of the work done by Mark Pope and his staff. If Caleb Wilson chooses Kentucky, he won't just be another addition to the roster. He'll be the piece that could catapult the Wildcats back to the top of college basketball. However, until then, the race will continue to be closely monitored. Wilson's ideal home is still uncertain, but hopes in Lexington remain high, and rightfully so. Let's move on. Maxwell Hairston is headed to the NFL. Maxwell Hairston has officially announced that he is ready to take the next big step in his football career by declaring for the 2025 NFL Draft. The decision is not only a personal milestone for the cornerback, but also a reflection of the significant impact he has had on the Kentucky program under Mark Stoops. With this announcement, the program loses one of its most dynamic and promising defenders, but gains an athlete who represents the team's talent development success on the national stage. Hairston began his college football journey as a three-star prospect in the 2021 class. A native of Michigan, he was seen as an athlete with raw potential, but who would need time to adjust to the more competitive level of the SEC. After a low-key 2022 season, when he recorded just 2 tackles in 12 games, few could have predicted the leap he would make the following year. The 2023 season was a turning point for Hairston, where he went from being a complementary piece to becoming the star of Kentucky's secondary. Leading the SEC in interceptions, 5, interception return yards, 131, and interception return touchdowns, 2, is a feat few can achieve, especially in such a competitive conference. Those numbers, coupled with his steady presence and ability to read the game, earned him second-team All-SEC honors and put him on the radar of NFL teams as one of the top defensive talents in the class. Hairston's impact was not just statistical. He brought energy and leadership to a defense that often faced the best offenses in the country. In a defensive system that demands versatility and discipline, Hairston demonstrated a combination of physical attributes and tactical nous that few defensive backs possess. His ability to turn turnovers into scoring opportunities was crucial to the team's performance in several key games. However, 2024 brought unexpected challenges. A 5-game injury cut short his All-American ambitions, but it didn't erase his relevance. Despite an abbreviated season, Hairston continued to show his worth, tallying 19 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 1 sack, 1 interception return for a touchdown, and 4 pass breakups in just 7 games. That performance earned him second-team All-SEC honors again and reaffirmed his status as one of the best cornerbacks in the conference. Now, Hairston is preparing for the NFL draft with a high expectation of a late first to early second-round pick. His combination of height, speed, instincts, and explosive playmaking ability make him a valuable prospect for any team in need of immediate reinforcements in the secondary. Most importantly, Hairston leaves a significant legacy at Kentucky as one of the best defensive backs of the Mark Stoops era. His rise from a 3-star prospect to a potential first-round talent illustrates the program's success in identifying, developing, and preparing players for the next level. For Mark Stoops and the rest of the roster, Hairston's departure is a significant loss, but it's also a reminder of the standard he set. Hairston's success at the next level will be closely watched by everyone in Lexington, and his presence in the NFL will serve as a showcase for what Kentucky can offer defensive recruits. Good luck to Mad Max. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.